Yo, what's going on people, and welcome to the channel. So in today's video I'm going to show you how to make a beat that's similar to the new Justin Bieber and Toliver song called Honest. I just really like that song and I thought I'd just make one from scratch and we can just go from there. So for the first sound and just to build some chords on my MIDI keyboard, I'm going to just use this Lounge Lizard, use that amp preset because I've used it before and I like it. I'm going to just use them 3 chords, speed them up a little bit and just put them in that 8-bar loop. So what I want to do is bring this closer and then this one, like that. So for the first 2 chords I'm going to just add 2 bass notes. I just played about the chords and they sound like this all together. So I feel like it's fine as it is, so I'm going to just use this faster half time and just a little bit of EQ. And I want it to pan, and I want it panning left to right, so I'm going to just use like this 1 bar that's just going left to right slow. Just a little bit of like a darker tone, whereas I'm going to put a guitar on top which is a little bit more higher and it just fits in perfectly together. So let's get the guitar. We want an acoustic guitar, so we're going to use this modern nylon. So I've selected this sunny side preset and we just want to use the same sort of chords but just make extra bounce. So we just want to make little bounces like here and here, so it sounds like this. So let's do one here again and then we just do like a G. Then we're going to add this like lead sort of sound, so it sounds like this. But this is what it sounds like after I just messed with it and changed a little bit of velocities, and it sounds like this. The first thing I want to do to make it a little bit like sound more of like a bell sort of sound, and add this flanger with a little bit mix down, and then we're going to use this valve compressor just to tune it a little bit. So I like the sound of that. And then now we're going to put a little room reverb just to bring it down, make it a little bit more ambient but still sound good and boxed in like a room sound. So together these sound like this. So now I want to get a little bit of bounce. I'm going to find a perk loop from my upcoming pack. That sounds similar to Justin Bieber. Put a little reverb on and EQ it. And just a little bit of EQ. So I don't really like the tone of it, so I'm going to do a version where I pitch it up and I pitch it down. Pitched it down. So cool, now I want to get like a pad that's not at the start with an attack. It's sort of midway and just filling in and give it that ambient sound. So I found this Venus pad by Loophole, which is a really good pad that I like. So I've just copy and pasted the chords and the keys in, but I'm going to just take the first chord out. So I want this pad to slowly rise in like in that song, so I'm going to just put this 1 bar slow sidechain. Then I want to use this like flanger and I'm going to try and find something that fits in with the guitar nicely. So the pad on its own sounds like this. The next I noticed in this song I have like a vocal choir lead, so I'm going to try and find one that matches that, sort of in the same vibe. And I want to make this not as frequent, but just make this one a little bit different, so I'll just add an extra G here. So now it sounds like this before I put some effects on. So with this I'm going to use another valve compressor, but I'm not going to detune it this time because it's going to be too much. Just want to use this lo-fi and just boost the compression. Then next I'm going to probably use like a spring reverb just to use that nice preamp core like grittiness to it. That just gives it that nice like tone to it. So I'll just use this, but I'll just make sure the width's like here, below decay, and then I'll just quickly EQ it. So what I'm going to do with this lead is I'm going to track it out and have a lower one and a higher one, because I noticed in the beat they have like a lead that just goes a little bit lower. For the last sound I want to find something that's like a lead pad that has like a nice just rise into the next chords. So I found this pad, it's called Virus, loophole free. Thing I want to add is another side chain. We just do 1 bar, a lower mix. And I want to put a nice spring reverb to make it very wide this time. Just have a lot of width, but not a long decay. And then we get something like just a 1/16 note. We don't need the wah or flutter. So I want to make an automation so it's going left to right. So all I'm going to do in arranging it is just take the electric piano out at the start and just leave no quiet at the third part. So I've got the sample, I'm just going to bring it down 3 semitones as I always like to do. While control, just turn the analog color up a little bit. And now all we got to do is just do some drums. And then we just do I'll make it quicker. So now all we need is a clap. So I'm going to find one from Loner's kit. Then I'm going to try and find like a snare that can be layered on top. Then we're going to just find a kick. I'll go with my go-to kick. Cool, so that sounds good, and I just want to get a hi-hat that I'll lay on top of the kick. And now I just want to get like a subby distorted 808 that's short and just has an I can just build a bounce with it. It's good. So for this 808, it's not really distorted enough, so I'm going to just use a fast distortion. But I'm not going to put up the mix too much. Then lastly, I'm going to just find like a siren perk that I noticed was in the B. So I've put it here, so it's like replicating what the 808 is. And all I want to do is just add some reverb to that. So smaller size, take the preload. And then lastly, before I want like a riser FX sound. So together, this is how the beat sounds. So yeah, that is the whole video. If you like that, come out nice. You know what to do, just leave a like, comment down below what you want to see next, and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one, people.